Welcome to Saturday morning. Thank you all for coming, and it looks like we have our snowbird crowd back, and they brought snow with the last couple of weeks. Why'd you come back with snow? You came back too soon.
They missed it.
Okay, we start off with our May trivia, and it's National Arthritis Awareness Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. My wife thinks that that's every month for me. Nurses Week Awareness, May 6th through 12th. Armed Forces Week begins May 12th. And No Tobacco Day, May 31st. I guess it's okay the first part of the month, but the last day, forget it. And obviously there's some other memorable things happening in May. First of all, Kentucky Derby today. There's Cinco de Mayo on Sunday. And National Stroke Awareness Month is the bottom. And then Mother's Day is what? A week from Sunday? Lest we forget. Indy 500, Memorial Day. And there's a Sun City Concert Band performance on May 9th, if we want to make a note of that. So onward and upward. This is our agenda for the day. We will cover everything, and we will get some discussion on home automation at the end. This is our financial statement current on May, and as you can see, we're still solvent, and we will have our next meeting June 1. Again, this is the first Saturday. Next month will again be the first Saturday, and then in July it's a crapshoot. We're going to discuss at the board meeting as to when we will have our meeting. We have an option of the third Saturday or the first Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll make an announcement, we'll get the newsletter out, and we'll hope that you can all schedule your visit with us in July. So June 1st is our next general meeting, and with May comes more classes, and we'll watch for the educational announcements. And obviously, we continue to try to find topics that are attractive to this group and to the computer club. But if you have suggestions, we are always willing to try to find someone that can speak on a topic of interest that you think might be of interest to the group. Our membership as of May 1 is 1801, and our renewals so far are around 730, but I think we've exceeded 750 already. And the newsletter tips and topics, this meeting specifically, and all the predecessor meetings on Saturdays are available on YouTube. And so if you want to re-listen to one of the previous meetings or this meeting, don't be bashful. Go to YouTube and see it all over again. We are seeing an uptick in the use of the new devices that we got in the lab, the Movie Maker machine and the Kodak slide capture machine. We've seen a nice response to use, and the quality is very good. We want to thank you for your patience when you bring your computers in to have them work done. We've been a little bit thin in the technical ranks during some of the months during the winter, but I think we'll be more effectively staffed now during the summer months with some folks back. We are volunteers, which means we don't get paid, but we are still having fun. And I want to thank Bill Fritz, who is here somewhere. There his hand is. He'll be soon leaving for Arizona, but we've always appreciated his input and help in the lab. Very knowledgeable. He is bi. He works on Apple as well as PC. Anyway, Bill, have a good life in Arizona, and you're welcome anytime you're back, and maybe we'll go visit you. So on that topic, Bill was our vice president, and we are looking for officers or officer candidates. And if this group has any suggestions, we're certainly open for nominations for our officerial positions of president and vice president in the coming year. I'm sure we'll make do until that time, but we certainly would be welcoming anyone who is wanting to get involved more deeply into the club. The new officers begin on July 1 and will extend through June 30th, 2021. Nominations from the floor, if you have them, will be accepted this month or next month. And hopefully we'll be able to present you a slate at next month's meeting on June 1. As you know, our budget runs on a fiscal basis from July 1 to June 30. And so we will be making the presentation on the budget at the next meeting. And I promise you, I won't bore you. I'll just hit the highlights. And I wanted to also mention that the PhotoSig now has some new software in the lab, and they just updated some photo modification software on 4 of the machines, I believe, and the opportunity to come in and use that software for not just anyone in the PhotoSig group, but anyone in the club is certainly available. Our June general meeting, this one that will be June 1st, will be discussion of several apps that we feel might be helpful, whether they are put on your phone or on your computer. And we're going to have about 6 different apps for a discussion. So it's for those of you that have a short attention span like me. We'll have 6 little vignettes on how to use an app or what apps would be suggested. And again, it's at 8:30 in this room, coffee and donuts, and the meeting starts at 9 a.m. Now we'll hear from Ralph.
I was slow getting up, David, because you said we're not getting paid. What a surprise.
Let me see.
Yeah, dig deep, buddy, dig deep. Well, in addition, when Dave said you could see all these recordings on YouTube, you can also get to it real easy by going to our website and on the homepage, and there's a spot where you click, and I think we go back to 2014 on programs. So anyway, in the month of May, we got 7 classes lined up. I was going to go through and tell you the dates and all that, but I'm just going to tell you what the classes are going to be. I want you to be looking for the Saturday email coming out from Jim Nelson and David Good, because they've been really good about sending that. David Good, the colored explanations of the classes. So watch for those every Saturday. But we're going to have the digital photo album. Now, some of you were here at the class in March that Jeff put on and told you about the digital photo albums, and then in April, he had a workshop where you could come in and help you get started. He's going to do it again in May, and that's, I'm not going to tell you when, look on Saturday email. Yeah, we're going to have, believe it or not, 3 Android classes, and Somebody told me one time, why are all the Android classes at night? I said, well, the instructor works during the day, but he's got a redesigned schedule, and he's got one where he's gonna have a 10:30 in the morning. So we'll have a morning and then 2 evening classes, and that ought to work good. We're gonna have an iPhone class. And I know people like that, there's a lot of iPhones out there, that will be during the day also. We're gonna have an introduction to Windows 10. Seems to be a few people coming into the lab that their poor old Windows 7 died, and they got 10, and they say, I don't wanna go to 10, I wish my 7 was back. Well, we're gonna try to get them started right on 10. It's not that difficult, but it'll be a basic class, so if you've been on 10 for 4 or 5 years, come in and help me teach the class, that's gonna be good. But, so it's just really basic. And then there's one, I'm gonna read this to you because I said I wasn't going to, but protecting you and your computer from hostile takeover. I think probably twice a month we'll get somebody to come in with their computer and say, well, I got this call from Microsoft, and this guy said he could fix my computer, so I let him take over, and then he wanted $300. Now I can't get into anything. Yeah. Come to this class, and Will's gonna be talking about what you need to know about on these calls. They never call you, but never give anybody the access to your computer that you don't know, and you'll be a lot better off. But that might be an interesting class for some people that still think that Microsoft's going to call you. And if you got any suggestions for classes, sometime you might let me know, and we'll see if we can find an instructor to put a class on. Incidentally, we do right now have 5 classes in June, and we do not have classes in July, August, and December. Hey,
December.
Christmas time.
That's a forward-thinking thought. No classes in December. By the way, one thing that happened to be, and I don't know how many of you folks saw a TV show on ABC last night called Screen Time by Diane Sawyer. Let me see a show of hands of how many watched that. Pretty interesting. We have way too much screen time and not enough face time. That's not Facebook, it's FaceTime. Anyway, so if you would like, that's available, I think, on demand, and you could revisit that. And it talks a lot about how much our kids and our grandkids are on their devices, and that rapport with humanity is being lost.
Even dogs.
Oh, what?
The dogs don't like it.
Yeah, the dogs don't like it either. They actually had a video clip in there where the dog was coming up and closing the computer so he could get some attention from the owner. Okay, some of the community announcements. Again, I'll remind you that if you are a gardener, you need to apply with Murray Wood to set up a garden plot. And there's a lot of other activities going on. The board meeting will be May 22nd this month at 9 o'clock in this room. And there are several activities going on in May and June and July with regard to the Fulfilling Lifestyle Dreams, the 20-year anniversary of the community. So you can watch for various announcements along the way. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Home Automation by Ken Zerwinski. Ken's a man of many talents, and he's the technology officer at the radio station, and he volunteers in the lab, and everybody knows that if Ken doesn't know it, we've got a real problem. Ken?
Good morning. One comment about, you mentioned about we record these on video and we put a link to it on the website, on the Computer Club webpage. Last month we had a problem with it. The video was okay, but the audio was coming in and out and it was noisy, so I didn't even post it out there. But hopefully that's corrected and it'll work okay this month. home automation. For those procrastinators out there, and I had a lot of stuff to do today. Now I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Okay, the world is changing. It was an interesting video. I think you're gonna have to click on it.
This phone call, I want you to listen to it very carefully. It sounds like an ordinary call at first, but trust me, the twist at the end is worth it.
Good evening.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Friday the 3rd.
Hold on one moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on one second. So Friday, November 3rd. How many people?
For 2 people.
2 people?
Yeah,
What time?
at 5 p.m.
Okay. And your name?
The first name is Daniel, Daniel.
Okay. You're all set.
Okay, great, thanks.
We'll see you next Friday. Okay, thank you. Bye.
So did you pick up on anything unusual there? Because as it turns out, the guy in that phone call is a robot, specifically Google Assistant. Specifically, you can ask your Google Assistant on your phone or your Google Home to make a reservation for you, and it can call and do it, and that's what it sounds like. Holy smokes. So, think about the implications here. There was ums and ahs, there were pauses in it. It sounded natural back and forth. You could tell it was a robot just a little bit because there was a little bit of formality to the phrasing where there might not have been otherwise, but it sounded like a human. That is so cool. And it could do more than just make a reservation at a set time. It can actually work with more complex tasks if you give it a range. Listen to the second phone call.
Can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me 1 second. Sure, what time are you looking for around? At 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15. Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.? Depending on what service she would like, what service is she looking for? Just a woman's haircut for now? Okay, we have at 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. is fine. Okay, what's her first name? The first name is Lisa. Okay, perfect. So I will see Lisa at 10 o'clock on May 3rd. Okay, great. Thanks, great. Have a great day. Bye.
So again, that was a robot. How awesome is that? It was able to adapt to a different time request. It was able to remember what type of hair appointment you wanted. It was able to do all of that just like it was your human secretary. It's a leap, right? It's a moonshot. And we have the same questions you do. What happens when it hits an extension? What happens if it can't recognize the voice of the person it's talking to? What if the person's particularly verbose or implicit in their language? What happens if it gets put on hold? So what we know is that at the start, this thing is going to be made for simple tasks, making a reservation, making an appointment, and anything more complex than that, it's going to know it's not going to be able to do. In other words, it's going to be self-aware, and that's why it's going to have this training center in place. The robot is trying to make a call and unable to complete it. It will get kicked to a call center for a human to finish up, log the error, and then hopefully complete it back to you. So I obviously think this thing is so dang cool, but you have to take this plate of awesomeness and let's add one scoop of creepy to the top and another heaping scoop of skepticism. All we heard was that demo. We didn't see a live demo. There's still a lot of features they need to iron out. It's really cool in theory, and it is such a huge step over what assistants can do now, and you heard it. It sounds almost like an actual person. So I'm hoping this is as good as we want it to be, and I suppose we're going to see for ourselves pretty soon. Goodbye.
Okay, that really is creepy. To have it that good, I was very impressed by that, and I wanted everybody to see that. Now, There's also how many people here ever listen to the Huntley radio station? Okay, we have quite a few. And if you've listened in the last month, you've heard we have a weather forecast. That is all automated as well. I wrote a Python program that goes out to weather.gov and gets the text of the just the 3 parts of the weather forecast, and then I go to another website, the Weather Underground, because the temperature that I was getting wasn't as accurate. So I found this weather station right here in Lions Chase, which is right next to Sun City, and I'm getting the temperature from there, and I'm putting it all together and converting it to speech, and then that's what we're speaking on the radio. It goes into the automation system, and the automation system plays it at the right times. I'm refreshing that at least every hour, sometimes every half hour. Play that. Oops, you went there. Go back there. Click on the icon.
On the edge.
This is just a minute long.
Here's your weather forecast for Huntley on this Saturday. Today, sunny, with a high near 66. Calm wind becoming northeast around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, with a low around 43. Calm wind becoming south around 5 miles per hour. Sunday, a 20% chance of showers after 1 p.m. Mostly sunny, with a high near 71. Southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. The current temperature is 37 degrees.
Now that was at 4:45 this morning, so it's obviously it's not the current temperature now, but that sounds very human-like. One of the guys that works at the station also works with some other radio stations, and he brought that to a conference that he went to, and some major radio stations heard that, and they were very impressed by it. So I'm pretty proud of it. But little Huntley radio station, we're keeping up with the big guys. Okay, that's kind of hard to read.
We know.
Well, it looked much better on the computer. I guess it's that projector. Well, not so much the light. No, that's, I don't have any notes, so I gotta. Oh, gee. Okay. No, I had just some idea what I was saying there. Yeah, there's many devices that can be connected to the internet. Oh, the Internet of Things. You probably hear that term often, IoT or Internet of Things, and it's just all these different devices. You know, it's your refrigerator, it's your light switches, your everything that is connected to the internet. All these little devices make up the Internet of Things. So they just lump it all together into one term. There's, you know, medical equipment, industrial equipment, everything is connected to the internet today. I can get on my phone right now, and I could connect to the radio station transmitter, and I could change frequency, change power, anything. I have a lot of controls, or I can monitor it. So that life has become so much easier because of it, but it's also because of some security risks. It's become a little scary too. Disappointed with that background. The first automation system was invented in 1975. It was called X10, and it was pretty simple. And I've been using that probably since 1983. It still works, it's still very effective. I use it to control lights and things in my house. What? I'm having a problem reading that. It's what's called a hub-based system, and I'll explain that. But a hub-based system it's like a little computer in a box that's in the house someplace, and it's controlling everything. And it has settings. You can set lights to go on at sunset or sunrise. So those of you that use timers for a light in your house or lights, as the days get longer or shorter, you have to go and adjust those because the lights are coming on too early or too late. With some computer-like capability, it knows when sunrise and sunset is every day. So if you schedule a light to go on at sunrise, it knows, okay, sunrise is later today than it was yesterday, or earlier today than it was yesterday, and it just automatically adjusts for it. So you don't have to adjust it. You program it one time and you forget about it. Now, the types of systems, the hub-based systems, X10 is one, as I said. There's Insteon, Zigbee, Z-Wave, and Samsung has one that's also a hub-based system. There's one computer-driven system that's called Mr. House, and it's still around. It's been around for a very long time. But that requires the regular computer be on 24/7. But it is easily programmable it was a hobbyist automation system. But the main reason that I wanted to talk today is because there's a lot of systems that have come out now that are not hub-based or computer-based. It's very simple, where you just buy a device, you screw a light bulb in, or you plug it in, and then you get on your phone and you hook up to it, and you can set a schedule with it, or you can just turn it on or off anytime you want. So it's become much more user-friendly. Those hub-based systems, it requires some expertise, and most people, I've given this presentation on home automation twice to the computer club, and once to the Huntley Library, and once for the association, and never generated much interest. So hopefully this will generate some interest, because now you can go to Walmart and buy some of these devices. You can Best Buy or Home Depot. They're available all over. Amazon has. I'll have a list later. Boy, I wish I could read this.
Timer set up with your smartphone, control.
Oh, yeah, I already talked about that.
And geofencing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Geofencing is something that I'll get into a little bit more. We can define. That's with IFTTT, and I have a slide that's more about that. IFTTT is a website that's if this then that, and you can go on there and you can set up things like you say, okay, here's my house, and I want to set up a radius around my house so that anytime my phone comes anywhere within that radius, lights will go on in my house, or the heat will come up, or the air conditioning will turn on. You can do things like that by having the app on your phone, linking it with that website, and yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's like you
okay, so there's, yeah, while he's working, I can, so that if this then that, and I think one of the later slides has something about it. I have it where it'll send me an email if it's going to rain tomorrow. So it's able to go out and check the weather report and let me know by email if it's going to rain. Now, when I was cutting my own grass, that was important to me. I don't do that anymore, so I don't really care. But there's so many things like that, and even that first video that I showed, if you didn't catch it, that set up that hair appointment, and that was Google, the Google Assistant that set that up, and that made an entry in the Apple calendar. So you can even go across systems like that. Usually Google and Apple are they don't talk to each other, but with if this then that, or even with the Google Assistant is now able to go into the Apple calendar and make an entry. So that's total automation. You just tell your Google Assistant to make an appointment, and it makes it and puts it on your calendar. And you don't have to worry about it. Give me an idea of my next slide. But this home automation, I was saying before, it's become so easy. And I brought along a bunch of devices, but I don't have a place to put it, or and afterwards, if anybody wants to ask questions and want to see some of the devices I brought. Most of this These things, Insteon X10, you had a module that you plug in the wall, and then you plug a table lamp into there, and then that would become a controlled table lamp. You leave the switch on the table lamp, and everybody's reading what you're doing, they're not listening. So it made it, any device, almost any device in your home is controllable because of that. Now, if you have, okay, I'll describe, was it, have you done it? Yeah, I think that's about where I was. Years ago, when my wife was still working, and we'd get up at 5:30 in the morning, I had it set so that the night before I set up a little 4-cup coffee maker, and that was plugged into the automation system. And so at 5:25 in the morning, that coffee maker would turn on. Now, the night before, I had to put water in it, put coffee in it, so I had to make sure it was prepared. But at 5:25 in the morning, the coffee maker started. 5:30, the lights came on in the kitchen, and that's when the alarm sounded in the bedroom. And I wake up and walk into the kitchen, it's already lit, didn't have to worry about it, and then the coffee is already ready. So, and then if I woke up early, I had a little device with buttons on it that was about this size next to my bed, that you just push one button that would turn on the coffee maker early, and then turn on the kitchen lights. So, home automation makes life very convenient. Those things that you do routinely every day, turn this light on, turn this light off, can be automated and should be automated. Why clutter your life with all this stuff? Okay, so I'll get back to this. X10 was invented in 1975 in Scotland, and it's still in use today, and it's still being improved. It uses the house wiring, so it has this little box that is a controller, and it sends commands through the house wiring to other little boxes that are plugged in around the house, and then say a lamp or a coffee maker is plugged into that, and it would tell that box to turn on. It was inexpensive. You used to be able to get 3 devices for $20. Now the company's been sold to someone else, and it's like $20 for each of the devices, but still, that's not too bad. It has some issues. If your house is a larger house, and it takes time for the signal to get from here to there, sometimes it loses it, and there's some devices, like a cable box one time was causing interference, and the signal wasn't getting through, but there's ways of getting around that. And then I talked about the sunrise and sunset. Okay. One versus something, yeah. Am I going back? No, okay, no. Okay, so now down to the Wi-Fi devices. That's really one of the main topics for this presentation today. And now you can't see the pictures on the bottom very well. But LED light bulbs. Now, for Christmas, I gave my son-in-law, my son, and my other daughter's fiance a pair of light bulbs that I should have had these out. These are from Walmart's pack of 2. I think it was $15, and they're Wi-Fi light bulbs. They're actually LED light bulbs that have Wi-Fi built into them. And that's it. It looks pretty much like a standard light bulb. Screws into a standard light bulb socket. One thing is it's plastic. And it's heavier than a light bulb because there's electronics and there's a heat sink in there. But you just take out your regular light bulb, screw this into a lamp, make sure that the switch on the lamp is turned on, and this thing will start flashing. And different makes are done differently. But when this starts flashing, then you have the app on your phone, and you go into the app, and it's finding devices, and it finds this one that's flashing. You just, it connects up to here, and then you give it a name, and now you have control of this light with your phone. Now you need a smartphone to do that. You can't do it with a flip phone. So if you got a flip phone, you're out of luck. But these, they're LED, so they're not using as much power. Plus, if you have 2 or 3 of these, say in the living room, or like the second photo that you can't see, is a can light that screws up in the ceiling, like in your kitchen. I have 5 can lights around the kitchen, and there's one over the kitchen sink. I could replace those 5 can lights with Wi-Fi enabled and link them together easily in the app on my phone. And then I just have to say, on my phone, just click on turn on kitchen lights or can lights, and all of them will come on together. So you can control, you don't have to do 1, 2, 3, you know, turn each one on, you can just control them all as a group. And then, well, the one I have over the kitchen sink, that one is controlled by my automation system, but it's, some automation systems have trouble with LED bulbs. And I found that with that can light over the kitchen sink, because I tried putting LED in there and it wouldn't, I couldn't operate it. It wouldn't go on. I also had that problem. I bought an LED Christmas tree last year, and I plugged it into automation system, and it came on. Everything was great until it came time to turn it off. I pushed the button, it went off. 2 seconds later, it came back on. Turned it off, came back on. So it took me, well, I tried the X10, I tried the Insteon. I have multiple systems. And then I tried this other one, it's called Sonoff, and that one worked. So that was what I programmed, and I used that one for my LED Christmas tree. But if you have an LED light bulb with the Wi-Fi built into it, that's already made to work with the LED. So there are some issues with it, but if I then change the light over the sink with an LED Wi-Fi light bulb, then that problem would go away. But I would lose the capability, I would lose the sunrise sunset capability where it automatically comes on, because that light comes on when it's getting dark out. And that's a nice feature, because you never come home to a dark house. And I really like that, and I've gotten so used to that anytime you walk in, the lights are on if it's dark out. Unless you come home at 12 o'clock at night, then they're already off. But yeah, not coming home to a lit house is a really nice feature. So there's, let's see, lots of light bulbs. Yeah, you can have colored light bulbs. The third picture is a colored light bulb, and it's the same. This is, like I said, these are at Walmart, and the white light bulbs. They also have the colored. All these are. Yeah, I think all these devices are available at Walmart. I was there yesterday looking. I'm pretty sure all of them were there. But the colored light bulbs, I haven't really found a need for a colored light bulb. Some people like it, you can make them blue or red or different shades. And I think it depends on the light bulb. You can have like 16 million different colors. I don't even know 16 million different colors. But one use that I did see for it though was one of the videos that I looked at. They had door sensors on the cabinet under the sink, and a lady was reading a book, and she had the light on, and one of the children opened the cabinet door under the kitchen sink, and the light turned red, and she knew, okay, somebody's in that cabinet, so she went to see what was going on. So, and you can do things like that. You can put motion sensors in the house, and you have lights come on. That's another. My old house, my kids would always leave the lights on in the family room, and then be up in the room doing stuff. And so I thought, well, I can fix that. So I put it on automation, and I put a motion sensor there so that if there was no motion in 10 minutes, the lights would go off. Cool. Until I was home alone one day, and I sat down to read. I'm sitting there, and 10 minutes later, lights go off. So, oh, gee, so the lights went back on. Reading 10 minutes later, after the again. I got rid of that. But let's see, indoor switches, outdoor switches. Outdoor switches, like at Christmas time, you can put one of those out there. Wi-Fi connected, put it on a schedule so that it automatically go on and off at the times you like, or you can control it from your phone. And that's the second one from the right. And those could be used for landscape lighting, although usually landscape lighting is 12 volt, low voltage, so you're not going to get electrocuted from that. Wintertime, you're probably not going to be digging around the wires, but in the summertime you might be. So I don't know if that would be great for landscape lighting. But and then the last picture is a camera. Now there's this Mercury system. All these devices are available from them. The camera is 720p. There's some better cameras for less money that I'll talk about later. Here's a Wi-Fi light bulb demo that I just did. I made this with my cell phone and was at home. So just
Alexa, turn the table lamp on. Alexa, table lamp 50%.
You can't really tell, but it did bring it down half.
Alexa, table lamp 10%.
The camera compensates for the difference in volume.
Alexa, table lamp 100%. Alexa, table lamp off.
Yeah, and it was daytime when I did that, so it was more dramatic at night. But that's a nice feature too. If you have an Amazon Echo or Google Home or the Apple HomePod, I think it's called, you can link that up to various home automation systems like these Wi-Fi light bulbs and control them with your voice, which is nice. You're sitting in the living room and it's getting dark out and you don't have to set it on a schedule and you just say, turn it on. I had a problem when I was developing this though, because whenever I was playing this video, I have an Amazon Echo right in my den, and it kept turning the lights on and off. So, but that's a really nice convenience. It's to just be able to tell it to turn the light on when you want it. Instead of having, oh, where's my phone? And I can turn it on. You just talk to it. Other devices that you can use, Wi-Fi wall switches. Like I said, the light over my kitchen sink, I now have controlled. It's a conventional light bulb, so I had to replace the wall switch with an automation system wall switch, so that you can go over there, you can push the button and it'll turn the light on. Or I have that system doesn't work with the phone. I have a handheld remote that I can just push a button and turn that light on. Or that one is one that's set to come on at sunset or around sunset. Some of those things, like that system I have, you can say, go on at sunset minus 10 minutes. And so it'll come on 10 minutes before sunset. Or sunset plus 15 minutes, and it'll come on after sunset. So you have flexibility like that. So for security purposes, you can have different lights coming out at different times around sunset. And then for convenience again, there's a lamp in the master bedroom that around sunset sometime, that lamp will come on at 50% brightness, just to have a little bit of light in the master bedroom. And then the light over the shower, replace that wall switch with a controlled wall switch. And that is not a very bright light, 40 watts, but that one comes on around the same time. So there's light in the master bedroom and the master bathroom. And again, you're not walking into dark rooms looking for switches. Now, Commonwealth Edison tells me that I'm using more electricity than everybody else around me, but then I figured that most of my neighbors probably aren't running 10 computers at the same time either. Okay, but yeah, another nice feature is if you ever wanted a dimmer in a location, these devices, when you replace the wall switch, it makes whatever is controlled by that switch, it's on the dimmer then. So like the light over your dining room table or whatever, if you wanted that on a dimmer, replace it with a controlled one, and you can dim it right at the wall switch, or even if you have an Amazon Echo or that, you can say, Alexa, dining room light at 75%. It just comes on, not full brightness. So lights where you would like a dimmer, you can have this. Thermostats. Now, I know a lot of people get into the Nest and the Honeywell. I haven't really seen a need for. I have a programmable thermostat that I replaced it years ago. I programmed it the way I wanted, and it just works. I don't need to mess with it. I don't need to look at it. It just does what it's supposed to. But if you have like a cabin someplace, or then you put one of those controllable thermostats in there, and then on your way up there, you can get on your phone and just raise the temperature, or lower the temperature when you're on your way home. You have remote control of the environment in that cabin. Or you can set up a geofence around there, so as you get closer to it with your phone, it'll automatically raise the temperature when you're getting close. Now, if you forget your phone, it's not going to work. Doorbells, Ring and Nest. I know a lot of people have those. Those are really nice. I don't have one yet, surprisingly. Although I do have cameras. We'll talk about some of those. And with the doorbells and some of these cameras, you can define an area. The camera can see a lot. You can define, okay, just in this area, if there's movement in that area, start recording or send me an alert, and then you'll be aware that there's movement there. If you've got like cars driving by or something, you don't want to be alert every time a car goes by. So, but if somebody walks up to your front door, you can just don't include the street, include this area right in front of the house, and if anything moves there, or a squirrel or something goes by, you might get an alert. But they're handy, and I think my neighbor had a Ring doorbell, and when somebody came to her front door, her Amazon Echo would announce there's someone at the front door before they even rang the doorbell. So you kind of knew that there was somebody peeking in or something, you know that somebody was there. Cameras. Arlo is a very popular one, but they can be pricey. And Arlo, some of those are wireless, really wireless. Some of these cameras, they say wireless, but you need a power cord. Arlo has some that are battery operated. These small special batteries that last quite a while. And so you can put those in locations where you don't have power, and that would be convenient. And they have a pretty good image. But there's one that is Wise, and it's at wise.com. It's a small. It's a small cube like that, $20, and it's got a magnetic base. You can stick it on if you have a regular steel refrigerator, not stainless steel. You can stick it on the refrigerator. You can stick it on a metal cabinet, and it will just stick there. But you do have to have 5-volt power, so this does require a power cord. But it's got a place to put in a micro SD card, where you can set it so that if it detects motion, it can start recording, and it can record to the micro SD card. Or for a $20 camera, they'll even give you, it'll stream it up to their website, well, to their server. Not anybody can look at it, you have to have an account. But it'll stream it up to their server, and they'll keep it for 14 days for you, for free, which is, I think it's a great deal. And it's a rotating 14 days, so tomorrow another one's, well, that will be there for 14 days, and then eventually they'll be overlaid. But it's really a nice feature. But these things have many capabilities, not just the camera. Some of you that have been here for quite some time may remember a time-lapse video that I did of the Railroad Club setting up their holiday display in the social lounge out there. And I had the camera, I think, to take a picture every 2 or 3 seconds, and then put them into a video that played back at 30 frames per second. So I was, all these old guys are really moving fast. But it took an 8-hour day to compress it down to like 6 minutes. So I was pretty impressed by that for a $20 camera. And it's 1080p, so it's really clear quality. There's more features there, but it's a great buy. And you can get them on Amazon, or you can get them right from wise.com. Other controllers, as I said, the Amazon Echo, you can add skills to that. So if you have an Echo, it's not going to automatically talk to your Wi-Fi light bulb. You have to add a skill, and I think that one's called Genie, G-E-E-N-I. And that's one of the problems with all this. If you get a Wi-Fi light bulb of this brand and one of this brand, you may not be able to use the same app to control them. Although with IFTTT, you might be able to put them together. So you add a skill for like the mercury bulbs, it's called Genie, and then with that skill, you can turn it on, you can make it brighter or dimmer right on your phone, and you can set the schedule, and then once you set the schedule, that downloads it into the bulb. So you can turn off your phone, and that thing will still go on and off at the set times. And Google Home is similar to the Echo, and one thing I read said that it supports 5,000 different devices. So that may be a good one. And I have the regular Amazon Echo when it first came out, and I bought a couple of the smaller Echo Dots, and then I have the Google Home, and I have a couple of the smaller ones of those. I like to try different things. I don't have an Apple HomePod. It supports some devices, but not as many as Amazon and Google, although they're probably catching up too. And so you can set up controls. Here's the if this and that, connecting compatible devices together. Like I said, enable the Google Calendar, make entry in an Apple Calendar. Turn on lights when you're in your home. I talked about all that. So change the temperature. Send you an email when it's going to rain. And there's so much more. You go to the website and there's all these little programs that people have made, and you can just look through them and see what people have already done. And I haven't even looked into making my own because there's so many out there already. Oh yeah, Walmart uses geolocation. If anybody has the Walmart app on their phone, I ordered something online from Walmart. And it says, okay, you can go to the store and pick it up. Okay. And it says, let us know when you're on your way, so we'll have it ready for you. Well, I had other shopping to do in the store, so I was in the back of the store. I thought, well, okay, I'll let them know now. And I took out my phone and said, okay, I'm on my way. Came back and said, well, you're already in the store. You should have let us know when you're on your way. So they know where you are. Okay, this is another presentation I did for the association when they had a Green Home Smart Home Expo, and the Logitech Harmony remote. It may be becoming less and less of an issue today because some of the other remotes that are coming with your cable box and TV are getting smarter. But this was a great device. We had 4 or 5 remotes to control everything, and I was the only one that could work it. And, okay, this one turns on the receiver, this one turns on the TV, this one turns on the cable box, and all these different remotes. That Logitech Harmony combined all those into one remote. And I know my wife loves it because now she can operate everything. And it's very simple. want to watch television, you push a button that says watch TV. Turns on the TV, turns on the cable box, turns on the receiver, sets the receiver to receive the audio from the TVs, changes the TV to receive the video from the cable box, changes all the inputs, outputs of everything, and everything works. And if that's on and you decide, no, I want to watch, well, that was watch a movie was watch a DVD, that's different today. But you press watch a movie and it knew what to turn off, what to turn on, how to change inputs, and just everything happened. So it really made life more convenient.
It started the popcorn popper too.
Well, with the automation system, it could. And then listen to music, push buttons to music, and I would turn on the, well, then it was a CD player, but now I have all my music and movies stored on a server down in the basement, and it just brings it from there. But Logitech Harmony, they can get pricey though, but they're really nice devices if you have problems with all the different remotes. No, didn't get that one. Chamberlain MyQ. This is something, I think everybody in Sun City has a LiftMaster garage door opener. One or even two of them. And this Chamberlain MyQ works with your LiftMaster garage door opener. Because Chamberlain, or LiftMaster is Chamberlain. You can buy a Chamberlain MyQ device. You can get garage door openers that have this built in already. But if you don't want to buy a new garage door opener, you can spend $50 if you have one door, or $90 if you have two doors. And you might need help installing this. You have to mount this hub to the ceiling and hook two wires up to your garage door opener. And then there's just a tilt switch that sticks on your garage door. And when your garage door goes up, this tilt switch lets it know that the garage door is open. It can alert you if the garage door is open more than, say, 10 minutes. It can let you remotely control, because this is part of your home automation system then. You can, if you leave the house and say, oh, did I close the garage door? Happens to me sometimes.
Yeah.
And you can stop, get on your phone and check and see if the garage door is open or closed. If it's open, you just tap it and close the garage door. So that's nice. Well, that's one thing I was going to mention about that $20 camera. You can mount one of those in your garage, and if you're not sure, you can at least look at your phone and say, well, no, the garage is closed, the garage door is closed. And if it's open, well, then you have to drive home and close it. But still, you know, you put your mind at ease that, okay, yeah, I closed it. And yeah, so it's, like I said before, nice things about automation is you never come home to a dark house. Even if you're just turning on one light, you get one of those light bulbs. I think they're about $10 for one light bulb. It's like $15 for two. You just have it come on at dusk or at a certain time. And then when you come home, you walk into a house that has a little bit of light in it. And I mentioned this before, motion sensors, so that if you have a motion sensor in your utility room when you walk into the garage, so as you step into there, the motion sensor senses motion, you can turn on the light in the house. Okay, this is a for people who have rechargeable devices. I have a rechargeable work light and a rechargeable screwdriver, but it never fails. Whenever I need to use it, I can't because they have to recharge. So I took a power strip and I plugged in the work light and the screwdriver, and I plugged it into one of these controlled outlets, and I just have it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 7 a.m. It comes on for an hour. It just puts a little bit, it just charges it up, just tops it off. So when I need it, it's ready to go. Oh yeah, and I have one. It's an old X10 security system, but that one will, if the security system is tripped, all the lights that are on the X10 security system will blink on, off, on, off, on, off. So they'll draw attention to the house, and you can have an alarm sound so that so that it'll make noise and hopefully scare the person away. You can have one inside and one outside. But that's a nice feature. Oh yeah, you can also just have a motion sensor somewhere nearby and just have a little, not quite as loud alert system, so that when the motion sensor senses motion, it'll just beep and then let you know that somebody's either in the driveway or by the front door. Problems, power line extent systems sometimes have problems because of distance, and I won't get into all the details of that. The LED lights with the Christmas tree I already talked about. Interference from other devices in the house. Sometimes that extent uses house wiring, so there's some devices they call signal suckers that the signal has to go past some devices, and if some device doesn't like it, it's just going to absorb all that signal. It's not going to go on. That's something that's eliminated with like the Insteon. It's a dual band that uses power line and radio waves. So, and it'll get the signal there no matter if there's a problem on the house wiring or not. But the Wi-Fi systems, I haven't encountered any problems with those yet. There's another one that, oh yeah, security. This is something that I think about. I don't know that it's something to really worry about, because the more I think about it, it's, no, maybe not. But how much security is built into this $10 light bulb? It's Wi-Fi. You know, how easy would it be for somebody to hack into this light bulb and get on my network through this light bulb? But, well, in order to do that, though, they're not going to do it from China. They're going to have to be somewhere nearby to get into the light bulb anyway, because it's Wi-Fi. So maybe it's not that big an issue. Somebody have to be sitting in front of your house, or maybe, I don't know, probably not too many of us have neighbors that are capable of hacking into a light bulb.
Our neighbors are all moving.
But you know, and I thought about that, and I thought, well, okay, if I really was concerned about it, what I would do is just have two Wi-Fi networks. One that was for my home automation system, and one that was for my computers. And then if somebody hacked into the, if they wanted to turn on my lights, and then, okay. Now, I have read stories about people hacking into Nest thermostats and being able to crank up the temperature, and that can be serious. Yeah, messing with the lights, that's not such a big deal. But if they can jump from there into my computers, then that's an issue. But I don't see that happening unless they're right next door. So we're getting close. Yeah, security systems. You've probably all heard about SimpliSafe. That's a pretty impressive system. I installed one for a friend of mine. Put the motion sensors in places so that everything was covered. It was very easy to set up. So if you're looking for a security system, that's a good option. That has a monitoring aspect to it. I guess he said you don't have to have. It's like $15 a month. You don't have to have monitoring, but it's probably better if you do. And then have a list of who sells automation equipment. I mean, there's a lot more than this, but Walmart, Home Depot, Menards. And I was going to try to go to most of those and just look to see what they sell, but I never got all of them. I did get to Walmart yesterday. ABT has some. Best Buy had a system that was called Control4 that was really a sophisticated system, but it required that they come and install it, and most of this other stuff you do, the Wi-Fi stuff that I'm talking about, you do yourself. You know, the instructions are very good. It's easy for you to do yourself. So, and if you have trouble with it, come into the lab and I can help you with it. Amazon, some of the things like the Wise Cam was a couple $dollars more on Amazon than it was right from Wise. But there's this is my place, and that's about it. Questions?
Ken, we have a number of the snowbirds that are back. On the
the automated thermostat. One of the things that you can do with that is check your temperature anytime you want. I used to have a monitor in the house for my next door neighbor for about the past 6 years, so that I could monitor his temperature and tell him if something went wrong. But with the automated thermostat, you can look at it anytime you want on your phone and see what the temperature is in the house.
Right. I had a similar situation. One of my neighbors across the street, down in the corner, asked me to keep a check on his house, because he had his thermostat set at 55, and he just wanted me to check on it once in a while. I thought, well, and especially when it was 26 below zero, I didn't want to go out. But so I have this device that is called sound off, and actually by just this thing, and I had to add the cord to it, and it came with this little sensor. It's a temperature and humidity sensor. I plugged it in his house, hooked it up to Wi-Fi, and then set it up with my phone. And anytime I wanted, I could sit in my bed and look on my phone and see what the temperature and humidity was in his house.
That's all assuming your Comcast Wi-Fi isn't hooked up.
Well, he was close enough that I had him hooked up to my Wi-Fi.
You have a camera on it too?
No, I thought about putting one there, but I thought, no, this is good enough.
There's a programming for a bunch of switches if the power goes off.
The programming in,
In some of these devices, they got.
yes, well, the Wi-Fi light bulbs, invariably somebody will reach up and just turn the switch to turn the light off. And so that cuts the power to that Wi-Fi light bulb. When you turn the switch back on, it just resumes its schedule.
I added a small box to my garage door opener a few years back that hooks into the ADT security system. So I can go on my phone and I can check and see if my garage door is open and closed, similar to what you were talking about with my queue.
Okay.
I received a notice the other day, I'm an Amazon Prime member, and Amazon Prime is now saying that they will deliver packages to your house and put them in your garage.
They can do that with
But
my
you would
queue.
have to have the device and then allow them to be able to open and close your garage door with the device.
They'll also deliver packages inside your car if you allow that to. Yes.
So that's not really a bad idea, except I hate to open my garage door and then forget to lock the door into the house, and then people can walk into my house.
Well, then, if you have a camera, you can watch.
Yeah, and I have one. But anyway, there's a lot of devices out there that can really help you out. And when you're talking about the Harmony Logitech, I had that for a number of years, and I replaced it with the Amazon Fire Cube that works better.
Okay. Question back there.
Ken, how come Commonwealth Edison doesn't offer us these services?
Doesn't offer us what?
Why don't they offer us these services that of your presentation? You know, all these other shortcuts. Yeah, how come they don't offer us these?
Comcast has some kind of a home security system, but I've never looked at that. I don't know. Wait for the mic.
You know, you could use your drone to keep your motion sensor lights on in your house.
I use my drone to watch my house.
For people who haven't purchased a controller yet, which one would you recommend? The Amazon Echo or the Google Home? And which one is more adaptive to the apps that are out there?
Well, I don't know. They're both of them seem to, since I have both, I can tell Alexa, turn the table lamp on. Okay, and it turns the light on. And I can say, hey Google, turn the table lamp off. And it says, all right, and it turns the lamp off. They both work together on the same devices. But I don't know. A preference? No. Although this morning I asked the question. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but electricity travels at the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles per second, roughly, in a vacuum. And so And the circumference of the earth is 25,000 miles, that's why I asked both of those devices, what is the speed of light divided by the circumference of the earth? And Alexa just told me the circumference of the earth. Google actually calculated it and gave me this huge number. Anybody else?
Just want to mention, if anyone's interested in that next thermostat, if they go to the electric company, they sell them, like, I got a really good deal, I got it for $35, but I guess you can get them in the $50 range. Through that, it's a lot better deal.
I did notice at Walmart, there's a little tag there, I forget what the price was, but the tag that's, there's a $100 rebate through ComEd.
Yeah.
Almost.
We have the light that goes on, it's the echo light on.
Okay.
How can I do another one, or how do they distinguish from the bedroom light or a different one?
Well, you have to name them differently. And whatever you name it in the app, you set it up in the app on your phone. And whatever name you give it, that's what you say. So you call it light 1, light 2, light 3, but probably something more descriptive is better.
Should also mention that Commonwealth Edison has a program where they'll come to your house and evaluate your lighting. They'll replace all of your bulbs, of course, they're not going to do anything with the net connected. But if you just have plain light bulbs, you're not going with this type of system, they'll come and replace all of your bulbs with LED for free.
Yeah, I don't want them to do that.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Because if they replace my automated ones, some of them aren't going to work because the automation doesn't work with some of the LED light bulbs.
And they also offer the Nest, and I think one other one, thermostats at a greatly reduced price. So, and they'll give you, I can't think what you call them, the little bar that you plug into.
Power strip.
Power strips. One of the outlets in the power strip, if you turn off the device on that, the other ones will automatically all be turned off. So that's another little bit of automation. My wife decided she wanted to have new blinds in the house. So in a couple of weeks, we're having new blinds put in, and they're all motorized and they're all automated to a hub. So they'll raise and close based on sunrise, sunset, or whatever. And I can also tell Alexa to raise blind 1, 2, 3, and it raises blind 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I have a project in the works. It's been in the works for quite a while. It uses a little Arduino circuit board that you can write a program and load it into here, and to control my blinds. Because I thought, well, I just want to open and close, they're up and down. But it's going to have a light sensor and a temperature sensor, so that if it's really bright out, or if it's bright but it's overcast and maybe like middle of winter it's cold, well, it's going to also check if it's really cold there, it's not going to open the blinds. But if the sun is shining and it's warm there and it's bright, it'll open the blinds and let the sunlight in and warm up the house. So and then I have servo motors that I'm putting up in the blinds that will rotate them. So I like to do things. I like hobbyist stuff.
So you mentioned earlier that you had 10 computers running all the time?
Yeah.
Do you put them on timers?
No, it just depends what room I'm in. I'm in the basement or upstairs and down in the kitchen, and I got computers all over. Living room.
How fast do you ride a motorcycle?
No comment. Too fast.
Ken, I think the best device you should talk about is the mailbox.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that. Smarthome.com is another website. They have all kinds of home automation stuff, and there's a little transmitter that gets Velcroed on the inside of the door on the mailbox, and there's a little receiver in the house that's plugged in, and when the mail is delivered, it beeps in the house. And then if you're not there or you're in the room, you don't hear it, it's pretty awful. there's a little blue light on there that's flashing. And then you go out and make the mail, and then you push the button, turn on the blue light, and it's reset for the next day. Next day the mail comes, when they open the door, it's got a tilt switch on it, it just transmits a signal and alerts you that the mail is there. And it also lets you know if somebody's messing with your mailbox. It's pretty nice.
So when you go out and get the mail,
Well, it depends. If you just open it a little bit and just reach in, you don't set it off again, but if you open it all the way, yeah, it's gonna be safe again. But that's not a big deal. Anybody else? Well, thank you.
well, thank you very much, Ken. We'll see you all automated.